A lot of the characters that I actually do are ones that I grew up with, or ones that I've actually like attached to throughout growing up. That's kind of like dear to me. So I'm like a fan in like a little fandom world. So it's exciting. A lot of the designs I get usually are just coming out of my own head, or I'll just like dream them up and think of it. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna add this to it. It's gonna be amazing. And then like 5 months later, I'm like, why? So it just depends. Each one's completely different. Every one of them is a love-hate relationship. If you've ever done costuming or cosplay, you know that each one has as much glory, as much blood, sweat, and tears and curse words into it as humanly possible. So each one is very special to me, and each one has challenged me as a designer and an individual to make, so it just depends. But during the week, I'm a mechanical engineer, so I mess around and do a lot of tinkering with hardware components for a lot of your research and development teams located in San Diego, California. So kind of on the side, to kind of itch the other half of my brain, I just started, coming from a family of seamstresses, I just started making costumes for a lot of the theme wear for the girls in the fitness industry. And I've been doing that for about 16 years now. And about 3 years ago, one of the comic book publishers reached out to me on Twitter. I think I had like 300 followers, I guess, on Twitter, and asked me to do a commission of a couple costumes for their booth to match their characters in the comic books. Well, I was already reading the comic books, so to me, I was like, heck yeah, this is awesome. I'll make these characters come to life. I didn't even know there was a such thing as Comic-Cons at the time. So I made them, and one of the girls wasn't able to work the booth that weekend. They asked me to wear the battle dress, and I redesigned it to fit me, showed up at the booth, and then it got so much attention, then here I am. It gets to meet tons of people who actually love the same fandoms as I do. So to me, that's so amazing to be able to travel and be actually to interact with people who like the same characters or like the same realms of fandom that I do. So to me, that's just so amazing. I'm just blown away. I make a lot of my stuff, and then I feature tutorials online and show people kind of how I did it behind the scenes and the works type of thing for sure. So it would be anywhere from doing lighting to actually putting in circuit boards inside of your costumes to working with, a lot of thermoplastics. It's definitely, each one has its own challenge. I think if you're always trying, you're succeeding. You should never say it's never good enough. I look at stuff now and I'm like, there's so many ways that it could possibly be better. But to kind of give little helpful tips and tricks that I wish was out there for me before I even started this, I started a YouTube mini-series, which is actually called The Cosplay Inside Wire. And it breaks it down tips and tricks of where you can find stuff, how to get involved in stuff, and actually be able to do it within a realistic budget. So like someone just working a minimum wage job, I completely go straight to the core of it and show you guys how you guys can do it. Even for a multiple family, there's just so many different avenues.